Hi everyone, welcome to School of Scarlett. I have a message for you today. So it's a rainy day here in Texas, and I was actually filming out there by the pond where I usually film, but it began to rain a lot harder and the mosquitoes were going crazy. They're still kind of out, so if you see me smacking myself, that is exactly what I'm doing, just kind of getting rid of these mosquitoes. So I didn't see really any new animals as I was coming out here other than my dog Blue. He absolutely loves the rain, so he is walking around. He's actually down here. So you might see him kind of walking around behind me. Anyhow, so let's get into this message. So this message is coming from this post that I put in the community tab. Now, what was the post? The post said, are the people closest to you your haters or your biggest supporters? And 100% of the responses were haters. Now, that's not really funny, but I mean, it's just weird because we would think that the closest people to us should be our biggest supporters. But you will find in your own lives that that is not true. Comment down below if you resonate with this message. So I'm going to start by sharing with you what came through first, which is the story of Joseph. The story of Joseph is from the Bible. Joseph was born to the king. He was born, a normal child, everything like that. But over time, um, it was seen that he had a prophetic gift. And his brothers, he had two brothers, they could recognize that he had a prophetic gift. And so they began to get very, very jealous. See, this is a word for someone out there. There's family, there's friends that are jealous of your gift. And so they were so jealous to the point that they wanted to kill him. So this story is in the Bible because it's important for you to know that these things happen this way. And what they actually did was they sold him into slavery. And so Joseph did go into slavery. His father did not know. He thought he had died, and the brothers just went on living their own lives, whatever. And so here is Joseph in slavery. He sticks to his gift, he sticks to his faith, and he doesn't let what happened, harden his heart. He keeps his heart open throughout this whole thing. At some point, he gets imprisoned, and so he even goes through that. And even there, he keeps strong, he keeps his heart open, and the king sees that he has this prophetic gift. And now the king is having all of these dreams coming through. So he, kind of hires or he takes on Joseph as the interpreter of his dreams. And he interprets these dreams in a very prophetic and deep way that can really help the area. Because what happens is there is a famine that happens, and Joseph was able to prophesize this before it even happened. And so around this time of the famine, Joseph was elevated to a position of giving out the grains there where he was at. And these grains were the rations that were given to people during this time of famine. One day he sees his two brothers come up to get, their rations, and he recognizes them. He doesn't know if they recognize him, but he recognizes them. And he instantly forgives them. He forgives them and he gives them the grain. I'm going to stop the story there, but it does continue on. So if you're interested in the story of Joseph, go check that out. But these stories are placed in religious texts like the Bible and other places you'll find similar stories. So comment down below if you know any from your religion that you grew up with or any that you've heard. They're there as a warning. They're there as a symbol, as a metaphor for you to see that this is the way that things play out. So if you're not familiar with the hero's journey is basically kind of like a blueprint to life, but more of a blueprint to how we see a lot of movies, books, and stories portrayed, okay, in media. But that's because that's how they actually play out in real life, okay? They actually play out that way for those that have gifts. So any old story, even the story of the Lion King, I mentioned the Lion King. If that resonates with you, I just made a video prior to this about the Lion King. That story was the hero's journey. They're all hero's journey stories. And what's coming through is that your story is a hero's journey. You are meant for greatness, and you have greatness within you. And you may have people around you that are your own family, that are your own friends, that are maybe even your coworkers, people that you are the closest to, and they are your biggest naysayers. They may even be sabotaging you. They may even be going behind your back and doing things. They may be they're totally messed up right now. Now, if you don't know why they do this, I do have a course where I explain all of these things in a much more deep, esoteric type of way. And so if you're interested in that, email me at schoolofscarlett@gmail.com. all my courses usually fill up very quickly. I do have a course starting in August, but it is full. But that does not mean that we won't be having another course coming through. I have something very excited coming for you. And so it's sort of something that we can all participate in. And so it's not as limited as the course. So email me if you're interested in that. But anyhow, we're all on this journey here. And what happens is that people, when they have someone near them that rises in vibration to a very high level, right? They're connected to God, they're connected to source, they're in flow of their heart. Those people that are hardened, that are constricted, that are in jealousy, that are in those kind of low vibes, they can't, they either have to do this is you up here, okay? They either have to rise up and meet you, they have to rise their vibration to meet you, or you have to come down to their level and begin to gossip or talk bad about people, or talk about your issues. You have to do that in order to meet them. But if you don't do either, what ends up happening is that they become very jealous, very resentful. They begin to have all kinds of weird spirals. And what happens is eventually they actually leave your life because they have to do one or the other. They either have to come up or you have to come down. Otherwise, that relationship just will not function energetically. So everything here is energy, and you're being called to play with energy. You're being called to understand how energy works. And anytime that someone says something negative to you, or they curse you even, I don't know why that's coming through, but they curse you even, or they write like a negative comment, or someone, does something to you to like sabotage or ruin a plan that you have, believe it or not, that energy actually is returned to sender immediately. That person experiences karma. They experience contraction, fear, all kinds of stuff within them. And so they're really only hurting themselves. The thing that's happening with you is that your vibration is so high that anything that comes to attack you actually just bounces off of you, and it's like return to sender. So have no fear about any of these things happening. They're not affecting you at all. You are the eagle. You are soaring above. You are the observer. You're observing these people and laughing. It's ridiculous. And they're just there. Now, they can, of course, rise up. You're giving them all of the light. You're sharing your light with them. I just received a link from someone in their YouTube channel sharing their music. Oh my gosh, it touched my heart so much. It was just beautiful. So y'all are sharing your light. It's there. These people have the ability to rise up and meet you. But if they choose not to, they will spiral. And you have to understand that that is their own ego death. There's a lot of spiritual awakenings happening right now, a lot of them. Now, I do one-on-one sessions with people that are going through awakening. So I'm getting so many more emails, questions, comments, sessions. My courses stay full. And that's because there's so many people that are awakening right now. And those people that are awakening, and maybe they have people around them that are lower vibration, they're actually triggering the other ones to awaken. They're triggering the other ones into depths of, it looks like suffering. But truly, if you look at your journey, you have been through a lot of suffering, my friend. And that is how you came out of it. We have to experience polarity here. We have to understand how energy works. So we have to see that those times of going within, of really feeling kind of buried, dark, constricted, are actually needed in order for us to grow, just like a seed that's planted in the ground. It needs that darkness. The seed actually needs to die before it can actually live. What's coming through is mushrooms. Mushrooms, they have to be in the dark. And yet they're the connectors. They're the connectors that connect everything. If you haven't watched this movie on Netflix called Fungi, I really recommend it. It talks about consciousness and everything. And the way that explains a lot of that is through mushrooms, because mushrooms are actually connecting everything underneath. So what's happening here is that literally all of us that are sharing our light, or we're heart workers, light workers, social workers, whatever, teachers, whatever you happen to be, we are creating basically this light, this underground light that everyone can, tap into. Some people are offended by it, and that's why I say it's like an underground light. Only those that are, have the ears to hear will tune into it, and they'll jump on here and they'll begin to share their gifts. And it doesn't take them long. Most people I come in contact with, they've maybe seen one or two of my videos, or somebody else's videos that are similar, or that sort of thing. and they're sharing their gifts. They're out there immediately. Like it's so rapid right now. The energy is moving so quickly. So I encourage you to get into it now. Don't let time pass by. Time is but an illusion, but your focus is totally here and now. Like, so focus on those things that you want rather than focusing on the negativity, on what so and so said about you, what so and so is doing. Don't worry about what so and so said of you. Whatever someone says about you is none of your business. A pastor way back in the day told me that, and I took it to heart because she told me that that was the one thing that really propelled her in life to continue on. And she was like the one female preacher in a whole Pentecostal church. That's pretty big because most Pentecostal churches do not allow women to preach. But she didn't let what people said about her stop her. She didn't care, and that was her main message: is to not care what people think about you. You share your light. You share whatever inside of your heart that needs to come out and be shared with this world. Don't let naysayers stop you. Okay, if we really look at those people that say those things, why are they doing that? It's because they're not doing anything in their own lives. So it's a projection of their own insecurities. And if you know psychology, you know how true that is. Anyhow, what's also coming through is that even when you're derailed, like Joseph, and you're put into slavery or even imprisonment, it may look like that's the end, like you've lost it. You're in jail now. You're done. You're never done, my friend. You are so gifted, and you are so great and anointed that you are never done. No matter where the wind puts you, you can grow there. That's how strong you are. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're the rose in the concrete. You will rise up. You are like that eagle. You are like that eye of the storm. You stay in the calm. You're above it all. So connect with that. Don't let any of these naysayers, this negative energy, uh, even at all, move you. Don't allow it to. And if you do, allow it to propel you forward. That's what it can do. It can also motivate you. So see it the other way. Many people think, oh, these that I should negative comment, I should do this and that because I don't like this person. Believe it or not, those things bring so much more attention, and they actually make the person that's writing those things, I'm sorry, but it makes them look like a fool because they make no sense in the consensus of everything. They're lost. So you can either be lost or found. And so if you're fighting with like people and trying to tear down other people's dreams, you're lost. You're lost in picking someone else's garden, in tending to other people's gardens. You should be tending your own. You should be creating your own beautiful Garden of Eden. So if you are one of those naysayers, if you're one of those people that negative comments and goes after people and stuff like that, why don't you build your own garden today? Do you know how much energy you have within you? All of that you're spreading, all this negativity that's really actually helping everybody else to grow. You could be using that for yourself, but you're just working on other people's gardens thinking you're tearing them down when really you're building them up even stronger. It's not what you think. So when Joseph was put into slavery, when he was put into imprisonment, did that derail him from being who he was? No, it did not. Everywhere he went, people could recognize his gift, and he was put in the positions that were appropriate for him. And that's just like you. Everywhere you go, you're lifted up. Every time you interview for a job or you go here or there, they see your gift. They want you. Why? Because you're gifted. So share that. Okay, and so the other thing that's coming through is like the story of Steve Jobs from Apple. Now he was a big part of the Apple company. He was one of the founders and everything. And at some point, he got pushed out of that company. During that time that he was pushed out of his own company, he created another company called Next and Pixar, which y'all know Pixar is huge. And so that made him a ton of money. And when he was asked to come back to Apple. When he came back in full force. And that's really the face of Apple that we know is Steve Jobs. And why? Well, nothing could take away the gift that he had. It doesn't matter if he was pushed out. It doesn't matter what happened. He's always going to rise above. And he did. He always rose above. And so just recently, I really like watching the History Channel. And so they have different stories on there of the people that built America. And they had the story of David Letterman and how he was, a comedian and how he started off just telling jokes. There's mosquitoes. So if you see me doing that, it's mosquitoes. Um, telling his jokes and stuff, stand-up comedy, and how it developed into what it is now. But he really developed that. He was working with Johnny Carson there for a while, and it looked like he was going to get the Johnny Carson show. Now it would be the David Letterman show. But at that point, what ended up happening was he was kind of snubbed, and Jay Leno got his position. And so David Letterman was left out, and he was really kind of hurt, it seemed like. And, but he didn't lose all of his faith. He kept on. And before you knew it, he was signed on a different channel doing the same thing, a night show like that, a night talk show, only earning more, way more than Jay Leno. I believe like $4 million more, which at that time was a ton of money. And that was where he was meant to be. He was meant to have his own show. He was meant to be to receive all of that abundance and money and all of that. And all he had to do was just accept. He didn't, throw a fit, give up, or walk away. He continued on, and that's why he is where he is. So this is a message to keep on, keep on. Don't let anything derail you. Don't let distractions or anything around you take you away from your purpose here. There will always be people that will say that you can't do it, that this or that, or they have their own opinions about stuff. Now, that's their opinion. It's not your own. You know the truth of your heart. So you're called to follow the truth of your heart today. So I hope that this message was motivational to you, that it inspires you to stay on with your gift, despite any naysayers, despite anybody, even the closest people to you. Don't worry. Eventually, those people will come around, and they'll have to be the witness to everything, but they will come around. And if they do experience suffering in their journey or whatnot, that is part of their journey, and they have the same spirit within them that you have. And so they are being guided as well. So do not worry. Do not be afraid. Stay in your own lane. Tread on. Keep forward. Whatever else I can say, I'm sending you so much love. A big hug. Keep on. We got this. All right, y'all. If this message resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below. Thank you so much for all of y'all's support. I even been getting donations and things from y'all. That's something I used to never get on this channel. So abundance is opening, and it's just flowing and flowing, and it's just amazing. Thank y'all so much. I feel so loved here. Anyhow, y'all, check back for the next video. Share this one with others that are also on their path so that they may stay motivated as well. I love you all.